and welcome to my channel. If you're coming for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you decide to stay. If you're returning, family, love you so much. I love that you keep coming, you keep liking my content. I do not take it for granted. Remember, we are still on that road to 1,000 subscribers, so I hope if you're watching this you decide to subscribe, because it definitely does help me. I actually was checking the stats and I found out that I think 56% of people who actually watch my YouTube content are actually not subscribed. So I don't know why you're not subscribed. Please tell me. If we have some bone to pick, let me know. I'm very open to actually having conversations. But enough about that. Sorry again, I'm such a zombie. This is being shot at night, and I am actually I've actually just had a very much of a crazy weekend. So this is Saturday, and we have a hackathon. Too much information, but we had a hackathon, Geek Culture hack this weekend. Shout out to Geek Culture. And I just generally am a zombie right now because sleep is not my portion. And I've been working all day. So with that past, today guys, I actually want to talk customs and immigration. So I'm actually always here to give these tips and make sure that your travel abroad, or your first travel abroad, is actually really seamless. So if you are a constant traveler, is that a word? If you always travel, this might not be for you, but I want you to stick around because there could be something that you will take from my tips, and also things that you need to know that you maybe might have not known. So I just want to make life easy for everyone who actually travels for the first time, and people who actually have traveled but then haven't considered certain things. So let's get straight to it. I have a few tips that I'm going to share. I don't know how many are they, but there's quite a few. So I have notes down, and let's see. Okay, so one thing that you need to know as far as immigration and customs are concerned is the fact that the office itself is to make sure that you are not bringing anything that is unwanted in the country, and also you are eligible and allowed to be to get into that country. So how this happens is that you will have to pass through certain officials when you are traveling, and how this works is that there's this specific immigration office that restrict you until you are checked to actually pass to the other side. So I'll give an example with when you are traveling from South Africa. There's a certain place, obviously, where it's called customs, basically, where you actually they have to stamp your passport and everything. I think from a South African point of view, when you are going, one thing that they will check is the kind of hand luggage that you have, what is inside, that you're not carrying anything outside South Africa that it's not supposed to be carried. And as well, I think airports, and not just South Africa, a lot of airports have a rule around the amount of liquid that you can carry. So let's say, for example, you are carrying your makeup and all this whatever. So basically, your cosmetics, everything has to be 100 milliliters. So it's on that level that you actually have to be mindful of that, and then they will stamp your passport. Okay, so we're done with that, and then you continue with your journey. When you continue with your journey, in this case, take on your flight. You're going to, where are we going? Let's see. We are going to Bora Bora. Bora Bora again. We're going to Bora Bora, and we bought our flight in South Africa, go to our gates, and when we get there, and then we have how many hours? Ridiculous amount of hours, because Bora Bora is far. And what basically happens is that in most cases, in a lots and lots of flights, you will find that depending on whether the country has a form that is for custom purposes, they will give you the form at the airport, or rather in your flight. And when they give you that form, what is required of you is to actually make sure that you fill it, and if there's anything that you have to declare, it has to be mentioned on that form. So you will know of things that are allowed and things that are not allowed. And what you then would need to do is to be in a position where you are ready for this process. So you are ready, you have your pen, you fill this form and everything. I think I'll do a separate video on my tips on what you basically should carry, or what I think you should carry when you are actually like boarding your flight from a hand luggage point of view, just for convenience. Moving right along, so then you will fill that form. Fast forward, you are landing in Bora Bora, and when you get to Bora Bora, it's a new country, they don't know you and everything. First thing they will do is to check your eligibility. So you pass through immigration, and in your passing through immigration, in this case, some airports or some immigration office will be asking like very much of questions that they have said to be relevant for them. Have you been to like Bora Bora, for example? Why are you visiting Bora Bora? Also your address, where you're going. So one thing that I would definitely advise is the fact that you have your address really handy. Sometimes you would actually fill that in your form, but if you are not required to fill that in your form, make sure you print it out just so you have it ready if they want it to be presented, or they want to see where you're going, because that is really also important. Then you move to having your stuff being checked. I think from a passport control point of view, I mean, you have your passport ready, it's opened in the right page, you have your accommodation ready, it's ready to be presented when you have to present it, and then you are able to answer the questions, and there's no need to panic when you are being asked the questions, because at the end of the day, they just really are doing their job and they want to know this information. So let's say, for example, have you been to the US? Have you been involved in some criminal activities? Like, just relax and just listen to those guys, answer the questions accordingly. Know that those guys are actually just doing their job at the end of the day. And then the next thing, you would be going to what we call what's the word? I don't know. I don't know what you call those carousels. Let me just call them carousels. In some places you would just pass, like passport control is enough, you will just pass. But then I know it differs by country. Some countries will actually make sure that they want to check your bag. They don't actually check everybody. Randomly, you might be the unlucky one who they choose to pick, and then they want to check your bag. So how this would normally work is that you would be minding your own business, and then you think you are done with the whole thing, looking forward to getting to the hotel, and the next thing they're like, no, not yet. So what you need to do right now is step aside. We need to check your bag. It happened to me while I was in Georgia. I think I'll attach this video. I'll attach a video above. It happened to me, and what they did is they actually opened my bag and sort of really offloaded everything, like literally everything, the underwears, every little thing that was in my bag, and they were just like putting it aside. One thing that really annoyed me by the process is the fact that they expected me to pack it back. I'm like, dude, really? Like, but it is what it is. The guys are doing their job. Some of them are rude when they're doing it, but like, don't care. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter, honestly. I think the more you travel is the more you realize that some immigration officers are like so rude, but I guess it's their job at the end of the day, and you have to abide by the rules of the countries and how they want things to be done. So yeah, and then next thing, other countries will actually have sniffing dogs. So you have sniffing dogs who actually just move around, like sniffing to see if you have anything that is unwanted in your bag. So they want to make sure that you don't have drugs. They want to make sure that you don't have anything that is really unwanted. So you will definitely pass through some sort of like carousel that you put your bag, and it is like searched by the machine. Let me just call it a machine. I'm actually so embarrassed that I actually don't know what you call that, like that carousel. But like, there's a machine that you actually have to put, and then you have to pass through this scanning place where you sometimes you have to raise your hand, and some officers would actually also like what's this search even your hair, like I have afro, so they would literally just go like this, and it's crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy. And yeah, like it's actually really crazy for the black girls. I think I haven't really seen it much happening for other races, but I think it's crazy for the black girls, because like when you have braids, I don't know if braids are suspicious, but like they would literally search your hair. I have had my hair searched few times, like scanned or searched or whatever the case may be. So beyond you raising your hand with that thing and then just so it scans everything, let's just call it a scanner. So it scans everything just to see that you're not really carrying drugs, you're not carrying anything, weapons, whatever it is that is unwanted in the country. So yeah. Okay, so then they will search your bag. So in the process of searching your bag, what will normally happen is that it's possible that they might find something that needs to be declared. So this is like, it is not illegal for you to actually be in a position of bringing that into the country, but you have to declare. I'll give an example with Kenya. Kenya wouldn't allow you to actually carry drones. So if you wanna go to Kenya, just make sure that you don't carry a drone, because I think because of the terrorism and everything, I don't have much context, but like I think because of like your El Shabaab and all those stuff, they actually are very skeptical about like things like drones. I don't know how it connects, but like those are the things that you need to note. So you want to make sure that you check customs for the country that you are visiting, just to make sure that you are in a safer position. You are not inconvenienced when you get to the airport and then find out that, you know what, I'm not allowed to actually get in with whatever it is that I've brought. So another thing that you would have to declare in most cases is like your food, there's certain kind of foods that you would have to declare when you have, and there's also cash. If you are carrying like a big chunk of cash as well, that would need to be declared before you actually are allowed to get into the country. So few tips again on top of everything that I've mentioned, few tips around things that you have to look out for to make your process really seamless, things that I actually apply for me to make sure that the process for me is really, really seamless and I don't get to suffer in the process of like immigration and everything. One is I wear loose shoes. Well, I always wear sneakers when I'm like traveling, and the reason for this is that when you are going through scans and all those things, some airports would actually require you to take off your shoes. So that is one thing. You have to actually take off your shoes. And I guess another tip as like on top of this one is the fact that, I mean, just wear the clean socks. It's very important. It's very, very important. Anyway, so that is one. And then the second one is just do away with jewelries. Make sure that you are actually not wearing jewelries. Just pack them in your like checked in bag if you are actually traveling with a checked in bag, because this actually kind of cuts you, or rather like saves you from like the inconvenience of like having the machines going like and then you are suspected to be carrying something. Meanwhile, it's just jewelry and everything. I know some belts that have gold and all those things actually just like sound and you have like it's detected as though you have something while you actually don't have anything. It's just that you are actually wearing something, or rather like a jewelry or a belt that actually is detected as suspicious. Meanwhile, it's just jewelry. So so and then another tip is that have your documents printed out. This is very important because like you don't want the inconvenience. I know that we are preaching global warming, we are preaching loving the environment and everything, and then printing out paper goes against that. But to be very, very honest with you, this come in really, really handy for you when you are actually traveling. So you want to just make sure that you, as I mentioned earlier, your accommodation where you're going is printed out, and you are ready to just be in a position of just seamlessly move. And unfortunately, places like airports haven't really like caught up when it comes to like the idea of me showing accommodation via phone and all those places. Some of them might have, but like it's not everyone. So just make sure that you are convenienced from that level. And another tip is that have your pen ready. There is nothing as worse as actually just like inconveniencing other people and borrowing pens at the airport and everything. It's just messy. So you want to avoid that. You want to be in a position where you have your own stuff and you don't have to wait for anyone. I mean, it's possible that you can ask for a pen in the flight, but like just carry your pen. Just carry your pen. I think that is like really, really important. And another last tip is just don't panic. The guys are doing their job when they're actually searching and all those things. So you want to make sure that you are not panicking about the fact that you have to be in a position of being searched or having your bag offloaded and everything. Like I know few times when I was stopped, or rather especially when I was stopped in Georgia, I'm like, this is racial profiling. Why are they not stopping everyone and everything? I just was like on that level where it just looked weird for me, but like it is what it is. It really is what it is. Just submit to the law. Submit to the law. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you actually are just welcoming of any sort of content that I've actually brought right now, because like this one alone is just one of those things where I'm generally really winging it. I'm telling you things that I know. It's possible that I missed some of the stuff. So if you have a few more tips and you're watching this, please comment below and then share how is your experience with customs and what do you think and everything. And to the people who would be traveling for the first time and will be using some of these tips, I wish you all the best. I hope that your first trip abroad is amazing, and I want it to be amazing for you. I wish it to be amazing for you. I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and don't forget to subscribe. Press that click button, press that subscribe button, press that alarm icon there. That would actually notify you whenever I upload new stuff, and then we become one big happy family again. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys. Cheers.